Hello, welcome back to Our Cynic Culture. I'm Matt.
Jason. Tom.
Stage fright.
Take your time.
Jeff.
And if you know anything about beer, you know called Straight Jacket. We have the better version. In the world of beer, barley wine, with anybody that's a beer nerd, barley wine has a special place in the hearts of all beer nerds. It's a high gravity beer, which means it's high in alcohol content. It's sweeter, but it's got wine in the name for a reason because it's more hefty like a regular wine. But it's some of the best beer that you can get. Everyone loves barley wine. Barley wine is life, right? That's the saying. But in barley wines, Straight Jacket from Revolution Brewing out of Chicago consistently gets rated as one of the highest over everybody. It's actually not that hard to get, but it is an absolutely fantastic barley wine. Anytime you can find it, it's always great to have one on hand. This one right here is a version of the Straight Jacket barley wine called VSOJ, which is very special old Straight Jacket, which is the J. And this is a barley wine aged for, I believe, 2 years in cognac barrels.
Correct.
Is that right?
Put the cans in the barrel.
Yeah, the aluminum is aged. So
Right.
what you do is
So you just put
lick
cans in the barrel, and then they take the cans
It's like
out.
doing a tequila shot. You actually
That's-
lick the can, and
Gotcha.
then you drink the beer.
That's why the top's black. It's just been in that barrel so long that they got charred.
It's actually
they
soaked
got
up.
charred.
They actually,
That's
they
right. I was
char it with
wondering
it in there. Yeah.
So speaking of barley wines, I don't know that I agree with Matt saying everybody loves barley wine, but
Everybody loves Raymond.
I think everybody
Yeah.
here does.
Yeah.
So the guy that made him famous, more famous, was Alex Kidd. Don't drink beer. So the barley wine is life groups. There's Facebook groups. There's all kinds of merchandise, everything with that. But one of the biggest releases ever was in 2018. They did the VSOJ for the first time released.
Yeah.
They did it in 2017 at Fobab. I think you might have had it there.
I was actually there for that,
Yep.
yeah.
Tons of rave reviews. That was actually aged in Heaven Hill and Old Forester barrels. But with these, the new ones, it really doesn't say. I did a lot of research trying to figure out, but you said cognac barrels, but this one's actually bourbon. So
this is bourbon barrel.
They are, but they do a version, and I can't remember the name of it. I think it's like Gravedigger or something. I don't remember, but there's a Scotch ale, and then there's also like another stout that's aged in cognac barrels, maybe even a barley wine. So
I wrote a rap about it while you were doing that just now. Do you want to hear it?
Now.
I would love to hear it.
Yo, VSOJ is the way. I don't play, but this is what I got to say. That's how I got so far.
Word to your mother? Is that what we should say next? Something like that?
Word to your mother? No, that's cliche. That's a cliche.
I'm not sure if I'm going to cut that out or not. I think that's going to be a good cut.
That's broccoli. That's basically broccoli material right there.
Broccoli. Okay.
Broccoli.
Yeah. I get it.
What if I said Revolution? What comes to mind for a brewery?
Like 1917 Soviet Union.
Okay. Shit. What comes to mind with you, Matt, if I say Revolution Brewery? What's the first beer?
Like Anti-Hero.
Okay, so
Yeah,
IPA.
which is that an IPA or pale
I think so. I
ale?
think it's either
It's
way.
a hoppy, yeah.
Correct. Do you have a beer that would come to mind besides some kind of real revolution?
Something from Prohibition.
No, I mean, yeah, Revolution is known for the whole hero series.
Yeah,
There are a lot of heroes.
correct.
We don't need another hero. I've been to Revolution a few times. You ever been there?
I have. I've been to one of their locations. I think they have two, right?
Oh, they have two now?
I think so. Maybe not.
That I didn't know.
I've been to one. It's
I
pretty
know they have a
nice.
production facility and a restaurant.
Sure, that's what this was when I went to it.
I know the restaurant.
Yeah,
I was not allowed into the production facility.
I'm not surprised at all.
They saw your
At all.
face. and
Apparently, they
they're
don't serve
like,
hamburgers there.
I think they had your picture hanging up. Do not admit when I walked in up there. I just
I thought it said
recognized
he's
it.
cute.
I think we're the ones that actually gave him that
Yeah,
picture. So.
they're the ones that hung it up too. They have the Deepwood series, so
Right.
it's all their barrel aged. And if you remember, when we first started getting them, as at Jungle Gems in Ohio,
Right.
They had the bombers. So the
Yeah,
22
They come in
ounces.
those boxes.
They did. They came in.
Oh, they don't do the boxes anymore?
Really fancy boxes that were paper thin.
I
Remember
thought
Yeah.
they still don't do the boxes anymore.
I don't think they do the boxes
They have the
for
little
any.
top that lifts up and
Yep. Like Firestone Walker, just not as nice.
Right.
Yeah.
But so I love the 12-ounce format, though. When you look at barrel aged stouts, I mean, I think it's kind of perfect, right?
Well,
it
yeah,
sounds
because if you're not sharing it, I mean, drinking 22 ounces of 14
sharing
fucking
is
percent
caring,
beer.
but nobody wants to share anymore.
Yeah.
So everybody wants their own
Yeah.
freaking individual size portion. That's why this country has gone downhill.
Everybody's selfish.
We need
Everybody
to
just
share more.
We need
Yeah,
a
this
we need
is-
a revolution,
mine.
Jeff.
Don't
We
touch
need
it.
a revolution.
You say you want a revolution.
This is
If you go carrying around pictures of Chairman Mao.
This is a 15% beer. So
it's a lot beer.
Yeah,
That's
it's
good.
like sometimes I'm in the mood for a barley wine, but I don't want to open
I'm in the mood for a 15% beer now, honey.
and I don't want to open 22 ounces
Let's watch
of it
Golden
because,
Girls and open that can.
Yeah, I don't want to open 22 ounces of it by myself because I
Correct.
don't want to go to sleep at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. We are drinking beer at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. So
We are. Good for us. So the VSOJ, let's talk a little bit about the release. So in 2018, when this released in cans, the best I can remember about it, it wasn't too hard to get. I think they even allow proxy. So again, proxy is I can order if I'm in a different state, and I can have Matt pick it up for me if he's close by or something like that. But with this last release, which was like 2-3 months ago at most, actually month and a half. So no proxies. So you had to be there in person to buy it. Limit 1 4-pack per person. So it made it.
And how much was it? Like
I want to say it was about $50 for a 4-pack.
4-pack of beer.
Yeah.
Like,
So
explain that to any person that doesn't understand craft beer, and they're like, "You're a fucking idiot."
yeah, because if you go to the store.
We still say you're fucking
We
idiot.
still say you're a fucking idiot.
Well, you talk about that. So if you go to the store right now, what would a 6-pack of like Bud Light be? Probably $6-7.
Something like that.
Probably.
I think.
My guess, and we're paying $50 for 4 12-ounce cans.
Yeah, not even a 6-pack.
Suckers.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct. But on the flip side of that,
These cans were in a barrel.
they were in a barrel.
barrel-aged
But on the
can.
flip side of that, though, we talk secondary a little bit, talk rarity in this. Very rare. You're going for 55 to 70 a can. I
Yeah.
mean, it's kind of out there. That's per
That's the
12-ounce
secondary?
can. Secondary.
Yeah.
Well,
And
that seems worth it.
well, people aren't actually giving this one up though. So the big thing about this one is they really love to drink it. Like it's not. You see some beers people just trade or bourbon that it's currency, right? Like you're just like the play in the stock market. But this one you don't see them go up much. People want them. So
Yeah. Have you
let's-
had the VSOJ before?
I have had VSOJ in the 2018 version.
Have you had it before?
No.
Okay.
You have.
I had the original one that was at
2017,
FOBAB.
yep.
Which one was it? What was the difference between 17 and 18? Do you know?
So when I look these up, there's not much information on it. The only thing I can find is that it says 2 years aged. It's actually blended. So we've talked about Side Project in the past, and we go back to them about every episode on beer.
Yeah.
We talked about not taking single barrels and doing blending to taste.
Yeah.
This is what Revolution does.
Yeah.
So not only is it just 2-year-old bourbon barrels, it's 2 to 4 year.
Okay.
So they take whatever they like and mix it to what they want to taste.
Which, I mean, we've talked
It's
about it
great.
before. I think that's
Yeah.
a great idea because you get the best product possible, and that's what it's about.
If you have somebody that can blend it, clearly
you have
they
somebody
do.
else that they're doing,
But
yeah.
if it's me doing
You
it,
got to
it
get
ain't
Charlie from a liquor bar.
Do they put it in a blender?
The Vitamix is
Vitamix?
the best for these. It really does a good job
That
blending up. I'll never forget the first time I was at a share with Jeff. It was over at Aaron's, I think, and well, I know it was.
Probably.
And I remember Jeff would always write in this notebook, and I'm like,
Did you?
I used to have little notebooks.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
my
I don't know if I remember that.
Oh, you don't remember this? So I would sit
still have
between.
them somewhere.
I would love sitting beside him and Ken. That
Can we
was
go
my
and start pouring
favorite
this?
two to sit by at that time.
Yeah.
So no offense, you're not now, but you used to be. You used
Okay, I
to be.
understand.
So anyway, I remember him writing notes, and I probably went 3 or 4 shares with him, and I'm like, I would love to see what in the hell he's writing in there. Like, it's got to be so in depth, right? Like, this guy must know what he's doing.
Yeah.
And then one
Surprise,
day I
surprise.
asked him, I'm like, dude, can I see that notebook? He's like, sure. I couldn't read anything in it, first off. And then the parts I could read was like, it was good.
Yeah.
I tasted bourbon barely.
Yeah. Tastes stoutish.
Hoppy, good,
Yeah.
How do you even
nice.
take like a whole page for one beer and have 4 words?
Well, you
A little more.
Smells like brown sugar. A young lady's breasts.
So, Jesus Christ.
So
You can-
color wise, yeah.
Look at how much darker the VSOJ is than the regular.
Yeah.
Now, do you think that's a product of the amount of time it was aged?
Got to be, right? I mean, you look
So
at that
this
one.
is the
one
young
in your-
lady's breasts, and this is the old lady's breasts.
Old lady
right?
breasts.
The one in your right hand there, the regular straight jacket, looks almost red.
Yeah,
and where
it's-
this one looks a dark brown.
This is more of like a burgundy. This
Yeah.
one's more of like a
Ron Burgundy.
this one's more like of a chocolate.
Yes.
You like my color descriptors?
I do. So nose wise, on the regular straight jacket, it is great.
Yeah. Well,
And
this
dark,
is
dark fruit.
in my opinion, this is a classic as far as and
Sure.
it's more English style than
English,
American style,
yeah.
but it's an American made barley wine.
You get a little bit of hoppy note in it. I mean, it's definitely English, but you still get a little bit there. What Which
Yeah,
one?
that's
Which one
fantastic.
did you
That's
start
so
with?
good. I went regular.
Let's go. Let's see
Jeff, you know which one's which?
This is Straight Jacket.
Perfect.
So on the nose for me, the difference is I get dark fruit, caramel, light caramel in this one. This one's like burnt toffee, which is in a good way, and chocolate. I get a little bit of chocolate on the nose on that one.
Which one?
The VSOJ.
Oh God. See, like if you didn't tell me that this was not aged in cognac barrels, I might automatically assume, because it's got kind of like a spicy kind of like note on it that I think is indicative of something like that.
See, actually, before I read this, I thought it was cognac barrels.
Yeah.
But it says bourbon.
Maybe one of the versions was, but either way, that is truly amazing.
More raisin on the videos.
Big shout out to our friends
Derek.
Derek and Susan in Chicago for coming through on this.
Yeah.
Fucking amazing.
How's it
Thank you, guys.
going?
Yeah, we didn't give the story of that one, so they actually had to use one of their allotments to hook us up
Really?
here. Yeah,
Yeah.
so thank you all.
Yeah, Big D. You like that D, Jeff?
Love.
Is that your favorite
the
D? That's my favorite D.
So what can you tell a big difference in the taste? I'm just
Yeah.
now getting to the VSOJ.
You can actually.
I think it's actually a huge difference. And the thing is, they're both fantastic, but all day, every day, I would take that. Like $50 a can. Wait, what'd you say secondary was?
So let's say on average 55, 60.
I would happily pay that every once in a while. I wouldn't keep a stash of 50, but like, honestly, once a month I'd be in the mood for that, and I would throw $50 at that. I think that's totally worth it on secondary.
We
don't say that.
It'll
a
keep
lot.
going up, but I think, the way you break it down, it's $5 an ounce.
Yeah.
It's not horrible.
No, I mean you go to like a bourbon place and you get like a pour of something, and it's granted it's stronger, but like a whole can of something like this.
Sure.
Yeah. Oh man.
Well, I was looking at a list last night. Somebody in my beer group had posted not a tap list, but a bourbon list at a restaurant.
Yeah.
And the prices were good. But if you look at that, for an ounce pour, I think it was George T. Stagg, it was the outlier. It was like $58.
Right.
So, I mean, you want to pay $58 for one drink of Stagg or $50 for one can of this?
Yeah.
Same thing.
Exactly right. Oh, that's phenomenal.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. If you've never had this one, seek it out.
Yeah.
If you like barley wines, old ales, even stouts,
Yeah.
this is kind of a stout barley wine hybrid almost to me. It's sweeter than a stout, but not like a candy sweet, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, it's much more forgiving on your palate. It's not going to just wreck your mouth. I hate that feeling you get like when something's super sugary and it tastes like you ate a whole pack of fucking Skittles, and then your mouth just kind of like puckers and like you can feel your taste buds just like shriveling up.
So you
kinda like
mean
Jeff's
the answer
balls.
or 450 North? Yeah.
Was that
Sure.
How shrivelly are your
Yeah.
balls, Jeff?
right now or normal?
Like on
I mean, we're sitting
on
next
an
to each
average,
other.
like
On
on,
average.
on a Wednesday at 3 p.m.
At Wednesday at 3 p.m., probably not much at all because I've been walking the dog and it's getting sweaty.
They're
and get
actually-
sweaty balls.
Actually hanging pretty low at that point.
and they're hanging.
So first off,
This is
would
really-
you pay $50 a 4-pack for it?
No, but
You wouldn't?
No, I'm not paying $50 for a 4-pack of beer. Although on the other hand, it's
But wait a
$10.
minute.
Well,
It's
here's the
10
difference. It's 10. So let's say it's about $10. A can or
a little
whatever.
bit more, but yeah.
Okay.
But the thing is, so the only difference I would say on the price per ounce is we do see other breweries doing it, starting to do the $10 barley wine can, but they're doing 16 ounce. So here you got a 12 ounce.
Have you ever paid $12.50 for a can of beer?
Have I ever paid $12.50 for a can of beer?
Yeah.
I have.
I can
I know
answer
you
for
have.
you.
I know
yeah.
you
Well, I owe you for the beer we just bought, but yeah. for the one at the
So the
Revolution
answer
we just
is
got.
he should have paid for it.
I'm trying to get you guys to tell me how much I owe
Are you
for that.
going to pay for it with Teachy?
No, I said how.
I mean, $50 is
So,
retail.
you
It
have-
might be $47.
You
but,
have paid that before. Would you pay that again?
Where
for
did I
this?
pay that before?
You've probably bought like a can of something similar to Smooch.
I'll
that
tell you
was
how I have
$10 a
paid for it
can.
before, actually, because so let's say we're talking about $12 for 12 ounces, because I paid $25 for 22 or
24
25
ounces, yeah,
ounces.
exactly right.
So
Correct.
obviously I have paid that price before. So when you think about it in the math and you say, well, listen, have you paid that much for a 22 or a 25 ounce bottle of beer? The answer is yes, you have. So I guess we would pay that much.
Do you think this is good enough for you that you would pay that?
I think.
This one, the
Oh, yeah, that
BSOJ.
BSOJ. Let's go back to this for just a second, everyone.
I was trying to remember how much Straight Jacket is a 4-pack. I'm going to guess and say 30, maybe a little under. I don't know.
Yeah.
Look, that's
I mean, it's
great
already a pretty pricey beer because it's super
This is,
high in alcohol.
Now
It's-
we're drinking this beer in August,
yeah.
but if it were December,
We have a fan on. It's kind of cool.
And it was cold
We're in the
out.
basement.
And we're sitting there by our fireplaces with nice comfy socks on.
Are we singing Kumbaya?
And the dog next to us. And maybe even a lady next to us. I think this makes a really nice winter drink, actually. They call the winter warmer idea, right? So I think this, barley wines and winter warmers are kind of related, I suppose.
Yeah,
sure.
So
I agree with that.
So I think this would be a fantastic beer just to totally enjoy. On a
So
cold
you would pay
winter night.
$50 for this in winter.
I guess I would.
But no other time
But
of
not
year.
fucking summer. Fuck that shit. Both of them get that brown sugar, toffee, caramel, but I get a lot more dried fruit, raisin, etc. I don't get cognac, which is fine. I don't care. But the VSOJ is worth it. It's really good.
I feel like where I've seen cognac and I know this one's just bourbon, but it smooths it out a little more for me when I think of that. So they do one in Armagnac barrels too. They actually do I think it's called a Boss Jacket. It's like VSOJ, but it's aged in Boss Hog barrels. Those Whistle Pig. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah.
I think it draft only. They had it on draft when they did the release there. So
Wasn't
I don't
there
know
a
if they've had that.
strawberry jacket?
They've done strawberry,
Actually,
they
yeah,
done
there was.
honey
There
too.
was, yeah.
I didn't dig strawberry jacket.
It wasn't my
try it.
favorite. The honey was good. Just made it smoothed it out. It's kind of like deep sweetness, not the artificial stuff. So
Have you had the Boss Hog before? The Whistle Pig?
The bourbon?
Yeah.
Yes, I have.
What do you think of that?
It's fine.
Oh, okay.
Nothing.
It's not worth it because that's an expensive bottle.
When you look at the Whistle Pig
Whistle
stuff,
Pig expensive?
The Whistle Pig's
Yeah,
pretty pricey. It's like $100 at
Yeah.
least.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
no. That Boss Hog's probably.
No, I mean regular Whistle
okay.
Pig is like
Yeah.
$100.
I think what they've done is price themselves secondary to start with. I mean, that Boss Hog's probably $500-$600 retail.
that's
It might even
stupid.
be more. Hell.
Yeah.
But I think everything I've had from them has been. I don't think I've had a bad one, but it's overpriced,
Right.
in my opinion.
The Whistle Pig.
I would agree with
the
that.
whole portfolio.
I would agree with
Yeah.
I don't really know their stuff.
I didn't mean to get on that tangent.
No, it's all
Anyway,
good.
Okay,
It's
so
all
what
good.
were you going to say?
So back to you, worth it or not. So retail, Jeff's like probably. So for you, I think it's a hell yeah,
100%.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I wish that this was readily available enough to where I could just say like I'm ready for another 4-pack, and I would pay that all day. I would pay secondary to the brewery all day to get that when I want it. And I can usually think ahead towards winter. I know when winter's coming, so
Winter's coming, folks. Better get that firewood chop.
me and Matt have freezer
Bring
like
in
stuff
the
in our
cow.
freezer and stuff in our cupboard. Jeff has nothing. If he doesn't go to the store and get it that day, he has nothing
No, I
to eat.
probably need new socks for this winter.
Jeff walks out in his shorts and like October 31st, and it's like, oh, it's fucking winter. I guess I should start buying stuff.
Better start chopping wood
Yeah.
and hoarding tuna fish. Here comes winter.
Got to make sure you got tuna fish
There
for winter,
are
folks.
so many potential clips here. You know that.
Yeah.
So
Working on
many.
it.
I'm jammed. I am rolling. I'm on fire.
You're something for sure.
You're rolling on something, yeah. So worth it, yes, 100%.
I agree. I think secondary is a little bit of a stretch, but still, if you price it,
Don't you think,
beer
though-
nerds have a weird way of doing math?
Can I
right?
just, before we conclude or whatever, can I
Sure.
just say one thing? Like, out of all the
That's good enough. Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks for coming.
do you think of Revolution as that kind of brewery that can have a product in such high demand among beer nerds?
Yeah, I do
really
now.
don't.
In the last 3 years,
It's always hard because I think Revolution's great. It's fine, but I never really see Revolution.
I think I
in that
actually
way.
agree with him.
I think we're spoiled with straight
That
jacket.
doesn't mean
happening all the
Revolution's a
time.
bad brewery. Normally, they're not. Actually,
For sure.
their beers their portfolio is really good in general. I just don't see them as a nerd brewery. But yeah, of course, here we have a nerd.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
We have a nerd beer here at VSOJ, right? So beer in high demand.
Well,
high-
even like the Death Star, that's a really good beer
right. So
too.
they have
It
more
is.
than one beer actually like this. The truth
Yeah,
is,
well,
Even
the
though
This
I'm
is
Grave
a
saying-
Digger-
Deepwood series. Yeah.
right.
The Gravedigger Billy, is that what
Yeah,
it's called?
Scotch
That's
ale.
a really good one. They got
That I've seen
more
on
than
draft in Chicago.
But
and
I mean,
other
I think
places.
you're right. I don't think people like pile over each other to get this beer. But I think
You're
you're
not
right.
thinking
It's
side
because-
project. You're not thinking Hill when you think Revolution.
Exactly, but I think a lot of that is because of what you said. Because there's not a scarcity.
Yeah.
So it's like if you can get
There's a
anywhere,
lot of it.
they distribute most of that stuff. You can get it on the shelf,
but not VSOJ.
not the
No.
specific one.
But Straight Jacket, yes.
No,
Or
and I think this.
Yes.
Straight
They
Jacket, yeah, you
distro
can get
Straight
Have you
it.
seen
Jacket.
Straight Jacket in Ohio?
So I have before.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd say if you went there now, you probably get some. I think it's only released once a year,
Right.
but they must make a ton.
Yeah,
I mean, I've
and that's the
seen
thing. They
them.
make a shitload.
I've seen the other parts of that series in Ohio, I think, and other places. But I don't know if I've seen straight.
Yeah, but
Maybe
this
like
is
a
not.
cuvee
This
de
is not.
grace.
This isn't small batch.
No.
That is small batch, and I think
Yep.
maybe what you said. It's like the secondary demand, starting to get there because it's what's the term? FOMO. It's like
FOMO, yeah.
If
Yeah.
there's not a lot, then I want it more, which
Sure.
is kind of stupid,
Sure.
but it's a psychological thing, you know.
Well, I think if you look at craft breweries and stuff that's the reason I asked you first. When you think of Revolution, what comes to mind? Both of you said IPAs. Their IPAs are fine. They're kind of pedestrian.
Yeah.
I mean, just being honest. I mean, they're good.
I think there's a lot of better
I think for a
IPAs out there
good
now.
everyday have an IPA.
For sure. If they were your local brewery, you might keep some here and there.
They make
but,
those 12 packs of the different heroes. And
but they're a
fun.
one beer. I mean, I'm not being mean to Revolution. I like them, but they're kind of a one beer brewery. VSOJ is their like top of the line, right?
As far as like nerds go,
Correct. That's what
Yeah.
we're talking about.
Yeah.
So if you look at the difference between them and like a side project and a Hill Farmstead is Hill Farmstead has a world class beer in almost every single style they do.
Right.
So does Side Project for a few.
right?
Revolution makes really good beer. This is not any reflection of them making bad beer. It's just that
They're
they
more
have
of a
one.
They're more of a mainstream brewery.
Correct. They're doing 30 different IPAs, which is fine, and a few barrel aged things here and there.
Well, either way, I think this one's worth it.
Correct.
All right.
Thumbs up.
Jeff, that's a no to you.
Thumbs up. Yes.
Really?
Thumbs up.
You're gonna buy a $50
I like
4-pack of this before winter?
I hope so. I'm gonna go down
Not
to-
before September. He's not buying it before
I'm
September.
going down to the Chevron tonight, and I'm gonna look for it.